Well, good evening, folks. Welcome to the Great MCU'S Bleeding Edge. We're live Wednesday night, April 1st, April Fool's Day, and we're here to talk about She-Hulk episode 35. No, I'm just joking. April Fool's, people. Anywho, we are here to talk about, of course, Daredevil Born Again. We're here to talk about season 2, episodes 2 and 3. We got a double header this week, which I wonder if they changed that, because at first I recall they were saying that the last episode of this season was supposed to drop the same day as the Punisher special. Now there's a week in between now because they had these two drop this week versus it being once a week. So I think they decided, maybe that was too much on one day. So I think that's kind of funny, but at the same time, hey, it is what it is. So we're here to talk about 2 episodes tonight, folks. So you're in for a wonderful review of season 2, episodes 2 and 3. Now, if you're not familiar with those 2 episodes, they are called Shoot the Moon and The Scales and the Sword. That's what we'll be talking about tonight. And as always, we have a great panel with us tonight. Of course, as always, we have my loyal co-host, Mr. Jeff S. How we doing, Jeff?
Good, sir. Good, sir.
Good to have you. And then, of course, as always, we have Mr. Pop Culture Guy himself, Mr. Andreas, Mr. Time Lord, Time Cobb, Time something, Time everything, and nice Lord guy. So,
No.
And how are you, sir?
I'm doing very good. Guys, I'm Cyber's father. I am Bad Lord himself. That's right. There's the twist of this tonight. I am.
What?
I'm sorry, folks. I am your father, Cyber. I just want to let you know that, just up front. I'm from the future. I'm just telling you that, because you're a Cyberneticshark and, I'm a Time Lord, so I just want to let you know. Anyway, I'm just joking. April Fools, everyone. I'm just going crazy, because it's April Fools and all that. Perfect. I'm doing good, everyone. Thank you. Jesse, it's nice to see you again, brother. Let's have a good discussion.
Yep.
All right, thank you, Mr. Time Cop. And of course, as always, we have returning with us to talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 2, Mr. Jesse Starcher. How we doing, Jesse?
Doing great. I cannot believe I got to witness the revelation that just occurred. It was April Fool's. Daggone it.
Darn it.
Yeah, daggone it. I'm glad to be back, guys. This is going to be fun. I'm glad we're going to get to not only get to talk 1, but 2 episodes.
Source Material Comics Podcast.
That's right, baby. That's right. We talk about comics all the time over there. 90s comics and fun comics of just about any era. So yeah, check it out.
And you play all those really cool Marvel digital games, right?
Yeah, we play Marvel Snap. I don't know if you have a chance to play Marvel Snap or not, but right now they got some kind of crazy like April Fool's thing going on with Deadpool for the next 48 hours. Lots of fun there. I'm sure the next episode of Snap Material, we're going to be talking about that event. So fun times.
Excellent. So yeah, folks, check out Marvel Snap. I have played it in the past, and it's actually pretty damn fun.
It is.
So yeah, definitely check it out. Anywho, so we're here to talk about Daredevil Born Again Season 2. And we got this great esteemed panel here. Great to have all of you guys. Great to have you here. So let's go around the table here and just get everyone's thoughts leading up to the second episode. And just kind of your overall thoughts, from the first episode leading into episode 2. Was there anything you were expecting? Was there anything you were hoping for? And just overall kind of your thoughts. I'll start with you, Mr. Stark, because you were not here last week. So please enlighten us about episode 1 and your thoughts leading up to episode 2, sir.
So yeah, I packed in all 3 of these episodes here before the show tonight. And so, I mean, we're picking up. I'm hoping that the first episode is going to grab me, and because it's been a while since we watched season 1, and I didn't know exactly, if it was going to keep the same pace, if it was going to, deliver kind of like what season 1 did. I thought season 1 wasn't bad at all. So as we get into episode 1, I'm back into it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm remembering the characters. Thank goodness they have the recaps at the beginning, but there's still, obviously we got Matt Murdock, we got Karen Page, and they're dealing with, Wilson Fisk and his shenanigans. I think they pulled it off great as far as bringing us back into the second season, delivering, what I thought was on par for what I got from the first. So yeah, that's kind of where I was. I'm perfectly pleased with episode 1. We got the swordsman and all that stuff. We got that stuff is continuing saga here as we get into these 2 episodes we're going to be talking tonight. But yeah, the North. What was it? The North Star? Was that the name of the boat there? That
the North Star.
Yeah, got so. It's just amazing to me to watch Wilson Fisk be mayor and all the crazy stuff that he's doing that kind of parallels like some of the stuff we may be seeing nowadays. At least they're trying to draw parallels to it, but in real life. But it's again, I can't wait to see Daredevil try and take this guy down because it's going to be tough. It always is for DD taking down Kingpin.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Going over to you, Mr. Pop Culture Guy. Your thoughts, sir, leading into the second episode and third.
Yes. I kind of agree with Jesse here about like the show getting back like my good what's the word, like good grace. I think last season was a okay like first season, for a revival of a popular show we all love. And from last week's episode I was like, okay, they're like, you really saw the true vision of the showrunners, and like, okay, like they're in like they're controlling the ship, no pun intended, like they're controlling the ship of the show, and I'm happy for that. And happy to say that these 2 episodes really got me excited for the season. I think we'll get into it. I was very happy to see that they have the classic Daredevil one whole way or launch shot that we usually get with Daredevil the show, and I was like, okay, they know what they're doing. And I like the story is progressing very well. I'm very intrigued what's going to happen. They're doing the right things here. I'm very happy that we got Karen back. I love the Karen and Matt like relationship, and like see them trying to like start up and try to defeat Kingpin and his control of New York. That's the most exciting part. And at the same time, it's very intriguing to see Kingpin trying his best to take down Daredevil, and then holding his bargain with Matt that he had towards the end of season 3 of Daredevil, and then we saw briefly restated and Born Again last season. So all that is very intriguing, and like I'm very excited they're keeping everything what I like about from the show and the characters. The action is great. I mean, I can't believe it. We got really good action scenes here. I'm happy that the show's adult. That's like the one thing that I was like, kind of concerned. But then, last season, with the commissioner's head explode, I'm like, yeah, this is an adult show, and I'm very happy to, that they're very comfortable now with the violence and the cursing. I'm like, whoa, it's great. So yeah, these 2 episodes are awesome. I'm very happy they put it together here, and are very intrigued what we're gonna do with these characters. I'm very happy. I think this is I'm one of the best seasons of a Disney Plus show, like a second season, which is really like a rare thing to say, but I think it's doing such a good job of stepping up from last season, which is great for me. So that's all I have to say. Very excited to talk about these 2 episodes with you guys.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. All right, going up to you, Mr. Jeff. Your thoughts, sir, leading into episodes 2 and 3.
Well, yeah, I mean, episode 2 was about what I expected episode, to be, coming off of episode 1. It was nice and long, and had a lot going on, very eventful, really, maintaining the good energy of the opening episode, maintaining that good energy, across the board into episode 2 really well. And into 3 as well too, I think. I think they like Andre said, they they found a good mix of like violence and drama, you know, to like, you know, to work for the show, you know what I mean? Which is how the show needs to work, kind of, you know what I mean? And once they meet that, they find that balance, the show can be really entertaining at times, you know, it can be really entertaining. You know, episode 2 is a highly entertaining episode of Daredevil, you know, you know, I don't want to say, you know, too much about it. I'll wait, but, you know, it was definitely, on par with episode 1 as far as an episode of Daredevil goes. It was right up there, you know, as like a 9-10 type rating episode for me, you know, right off the bat, without question. So, you know, yeah, good transition from episode 1 to 2. You know, the story slid right over real well. The only thing I don't like is the fist propaganda videos with that BB is making with the mask and everything, you know, like I don't care for that really. I'll be honest with you, I don't. But that's just me. That's it, Cyber.
Okie dokie. Thank you, sir. All right. So, getting into episode 2, which is called Shoot the Moon. All right. So, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead, written by Dario Scartapane. This one released this past Tuesday. And it's overall, it's episode 11 and second of this season. All right. So, going into this one, Cherry is taken to the hospital to recover and manages to escape with his colleagues before the ABTF can come after him. Fisk put out a missing person warrant for Murdoch for saving his life at the Black and White Ball fundraiser, making it difficult for Murdoch to be seen in the public as himself and Daredevil and to break into Red Hook. So we'll stop there. I think that's a good beginning chunk of the beginning of the episode. I mean, and of course, you know, throughout this, you see quite a bit going on there. We see, of course, the ex-girlfriend, you know, and her dealing with kind of her thing after dealing with a serial killer from the last season and that kind of stuff in this beginning sequence. And, you know, of course, we have quite a bit going on with Fisk, you know, them dealing with the aftermath of the last episode and stuff like that. And, you know, I think overall it's a very interesting beginning. So what are your guys' thoughts on the beginning here leading up to the break into Red Hook? And, you know, what was your overall thoughts like about it? And just like, was there anything that you would like to mention that you remember seeing in that portion of the episode as well? And I'll go right back to you, Jeff.
Oh, you know, honestly, no, my memory doesn't stretch that good, Cyber. I mean, nothing really stood out to me about that part of the episode, the beginning. You know, it just kind of happened. I mean, for me, for the most part, you know, in all honesty, I mean, I know, you know, you know, they become aware of, you know, these videos, these propaganda videos, you know, and all that, right? And that becomes an issue for the first time, you know what I'm saying? And I found that interesting, you know, that like, you know, that, you know, finally got brought up, you know, to somebody's attention, you know, and obviously what's his name is going to be on the hot seat now, right? You know, the Italian guy there, what, you know, whatever his name is, I forgot the name of the actor, but, yeah, you know, basically, I mean, they're still trying to, you know, clean up that whole shipping disaster, you know, bullshit or whatever, you know, and, you know, Daredevil's still, you know, operating, you know, how they haven't found his spot yet, I don't know. I mean, obviously they do eventually, you know what I'm saying? But like how they haven't found his spot yet, I don't know, you know? Like his spot seems like such an easy spot to find, you know, to me personally, you know, like I would think, but that's just me, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Cyber, that's pretty much it, sir.
All right, going over to you, Mr. Time Cop. Your thoughts, sir, on this section of the episode?
Yeah, yeah, it was good to get back to Cherry. I mean, the guy had a heart attack, and one day I was very happy to see was Poindexter in these scenes. It was really great to see him again. It was cool. He went to the church to find Sister Maggie. If anyone knows, that's the mother of Daredevil. So that was really cool, and I like that we got confirmation of what happened to her. She's taking some sabbatical in Rome, which is interesting, because she was very important in the graphic novel, the storyline of Born Again, and she was important in season 3 when we got introduced to Poindexter. So that was very interesting that he went there. And oh my god, him killing those two was it AVT forces in the head? I was like, what the hell? That was so cool. Like I was like, what the hell? Like I thought it was another villain or something like that. Nope, it was our boy Poindexter as usual. And man, I really like the really cool aesthetic that the showrunners are doing with Poindexter, using the blue, as his color. It's obviously a reference to his costume from the comic books as the blue suit, and I really dug that kind of aesthetic because we saw that briefly last season when he got out from prison. We saw it briefly in the bull, as Cyber was saying, the white and bull fundraiser when he was supposed to shoot Kingpin. You saw briefly the blue tilted light coming from around him, and that was a very intriguing aesthetic. So I really like that because it really shows like his perspective and like him being like a greatest marksman as we know about him, and I really like that detail, and I like how scary that is for the character of Vanessa. When we get to her, you see like how the blue it, like really affects her, thinking of Poindexter. So I really like the kind of the little detailed aesthetic that the showrunners are doing for this character, which I like. um yeah, because I was surprised. His involvement from last episode was very intriguing, and I wish we had more of him. But we'll see him again, hopefully, in the next couple episodes. Because I mean, Bullseye. Besides Kingpin, he's another major Daredevil villain that I was like so happy the Netflix got him, and thankfully they got him here for this new show. So that part I really like. I really appreciate the cops, Cherry's friends. That was a really cool moment. If you didn't pay attention to his house, like he's a very important cop. Like he was there during the Battle of New York. Like how 9/11 happened, and there were like the what do you call it, the service that all the cops did. That's why Cherry is so important to them, because he was there when the Battle of New York happened. If you pay attention to that detail of the trophies and whatnot in his home that we saw briefly last week, and that's really cool, and it really shows why he's so important for everyone, including Matt. He is he's sort of like this you know good, honest cop who really cares about the community and all that. And I start to like him more. I think this season has done a really good job of making me care for this character. Because last season we were kind of like lukewarm with the new characters. I kind of like what they're doing with Cherry here, and very happy he didn't die with the forces. Thankfully his friends got him out of there, and thank goodness both sides he was there to to kill those two mother effers. Pardon my French, but but it was good. And then yeah, and then of course you've seen of course Kingpin. Like I was wondering what he's gonna do, because like he knows his identity. He cannot, like, is he gonna do like the Spider-Man No Way Home thing, like Mysterio, like reveal his whole identity, because it happened in the comic books with Matt. Like his identity does get exposed in the was it the Brian Bendis run of Daredevil, and I think of course the old different Daredevil one did it too as well. Um, but instead, I understood what he's saying. Like, look, I'm trying to hold my deal with Matt. I'm not going to expose your identity. I can find a loophole by saying like, well, I want to still, I'm chasing after your Daredevil, but to catch you, Matt, I'm gonna just publicly announce that you're a hero. I want to find you, and now he has everyone looking for Matt because he's missing, and he saved Matt Fix from the fundraiser last season. That was a pretty cool, like, plan from Wilson Fix. That's one of the things that Kingpin is. He's very smart. Like, yeah, he looks like a brute, but like he's a very smart character. That's one of the things I like about him as a villain from the comic books, and this show, particularly this version of Kingpin, they done a really good job of showing how smart he is as a villain. Um, because sometimes you look at Kingpin, he's so big, but like that's not what makes him really scary. It's like his intelligence and how he gets his way is like really brutal and like ruthless. So that part was really intriguing. I really like that. I like his was a Buck, that's the henchman that's like close to him, like really like him. I like he's like the new like Wesley for Kingpin, and I like how he's evolving himself, trying to protect Kingpin. So I really like him as the new character from last season. He was the one new character I did like from last season. And just wrapping up, I think this first part really got me into the episode. I think they do a good job of picking up where we left off from last episode 1. So that's all I have to say.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Going up to you, Mr. Starcher. Your thoughts, sir, on that portion of the episode?
Yeah, you guys hit a lot of the points that I had here for my notes. Definitely, I think number one was the shocking moment where like they take the mask off and he's like, holy shit, it's Matt Murdock. Like they know right then. And I'm like, oh no, this is going to take a turn. And then Bullseye comes in and like makes sure that doesn't leave the room. Yeah. So Bullseye helping Daredevil like he is, I think that probably gets under Matt's skin just quite a bit. Of course, the fact that he murders people too might upset him, and murdered Foggy. But regardless, the fact that he's helping him, I think that really burns him a lot. The other thing that I had here was the elevator scene that you talked about. That was my other note, was when he drops down and then the elevator opens and those two guys just drop to the floor. I mean, wow. He's got some aura, as the kids say, when he shows up. He's got, he definitely can turn a room. Jeff mentioned the whole fake Fisk videos. That's going to be, who's doing this? Well, we're going to find out soon who that is. But it's an interesting anti-take to the other stuff that we've been seeing, the pro stuff, the pro BB videos, that are going out there, that are documenting how happy New Yorkers are that Fisk is cleaning up the streets. So yeah, it reminds me of, like, I don't know, Anonymous or something like that. I don't know if you guys know any of those videos or not, but I mean, they come in there and they say they're going to right some kind of a wrong or point out some kind of injustice or whatever.
Yeah, I've seen those before. This is heavily influenced by that, that weird 90s thing that happened with that ugly digital face. I forgot. I saw
about
this
Max Headroom.
Yeah, Max Headroom. It's really referencing that, and that's what I'm like. They're really holding on to that, which makes sense.
Yeah.
TV is doing.
Yep. So yeah, I mean, other than that, Bullseye's taking this first, as far as like the most impact in this first little quarter that we're talking about here. Bullseye's stealing the show as far as I'm concerned. So there you go.
Excellent. Thank you. Good job, everyone. Perfect job. Yeah. So I mean, I myself, I enjoyed the beginning. I thought the Bullseye thing was quite interesting, especially as as Mr. Starcher just mentioned about him taking those two guys out, the ABTF guys in the elevator. That was really fucking cool. I absolutely loved that. I thought that was so awesome. But yeah, at the same time, I think that this beginning is a decent beginning to this episode. So after recovering, Cole North returns to the ATBF. Angela Del Torres' aunt and Hector Alia's wife, Soledad, is arrested by the ABTF for trying to break up a fight between an officer and a teenager. Angela visits Murdoch's law partner, Kirsten McDuffie, and retrieves her uncle's amulet of power. BB is secretly running an online smear campaign highlighting Fisk's atrocities while dressed as him. And her friend and Fisk Deputy Mayor of Communications, Daniel Blake, warns her about leaking the information to the public. We'll stop there. That's quite a bit of good about there. I mean, the whole scene there at the convenience store with Angela Del Torres and Hector Elias' wife Soledad. I think that that whole sequence was very, very pointing towards what's happening in New York. I feel completely like with ICE and everything. So I think that's very. As they mentioned in other articles recently, saying that they were going to be heavy into ICE related things. So definitely you could tell that was very pointed and, definitely was being put out for a certain reason. But yeah, I mean, that was totally didn't see that coming. If you were blind as a bat, but definitely you saw that coming. And then I think that her the niece going to, or the aunt going to Kirsten McDuffie, that was interesting. Her getting the amulet, I thought that was cool. Like, is she gonna become the next that character? That character, is she gonna become
White Tiger?
Yeah, White Tiger. I'm like thinking to myself, I'm like, oh God, do not do that, please do not do that. I'm like, ugh. But anyways, it still is like, oh, okay, she got the amulet power. Okay, cool. The whole Schmear campaign, the BB things, I think they're absolutely hilarious. I think they're better than the professional BB podcast thing she does. I think they're hilarious because they totally make me think of the 80s when they would do a lot of the propaganda, like music videos and shit like that. They would have like the mask on of different presidents and stuff like that. I mean, of course, Point Break in 1990, they all wore the president mask. The Steel shit totally makes me think of that too. So I mean, it definitely gives that whole vibe of 80s, early 90s vibe. That was, and it cracks me up. And then of course, we find out finally that it's her. The whole time I'm thinking to myself, the first time we saw that, I was like, it's definitely a chick. I knew it was a chick. I wasn't 100% sure if it was BB, but I was thinking it was BB. But yeah, definitely, the body structure, I was like, that's a woman. That's a woman. Who the hell is that? It was kind of funny. While we were watching that episode last night, my wife's like, what if that's what's her face? Kristen Ritter's character.
Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, and I'm like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I'm like, that would be hilarious. But then when she pulled it off, it was BB. I was like, oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, still interesting, very interesting part here, leading up to her conversation with Daniel Blake, the dinner and everything, and stuff like that, which was interesting. I actually watched the podcast that they're doing on Disney Plus, and listening to Sopranos, Tony's son, Michael Gandolfini, talking about that scene. He was saying that he actually learned how to make that Zach meal at home.
Seriously?
On set. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But anyways, so what are you guys' thoughts on this section leading up to leaking the information to the public? Daniel Blake saying to BB, like, don't be doing that, and stuff like that. And just what your overall thoughts on that, the arrest of Hector's wife and stuff like that. So I'll start with you, Andreas, this time.
Yeah, BB is a very interesting character. Obviously, like I said before last week, from my previous comment on this character, that I like that we're connecting her from Ben Urich. So I like that we're doing something with that in this new rival show, because Ben Urich was very important in the Daredevil comics and in general Daredevil stories. So I'm happy we have a character with the name there. I don't mind the BB. The whole fix Spur campaign, that makes a lot of sense in reality when you have a person like Kingpin who's like very similar to those kind of billionaires, like crazy nuts that take over the government position, and we're going to see that for real. And one thing I like about the show is, like, I like how very political it is, but not beating at your face about it, but like just telling you how it is, and like it is referencing things that's going on now, but not like too crazy. Like they get to the point, and it is awful, what's going on, and I like how they're doing that in this show, and because Daredevil is a grounded show, you're not going to see this with the other Marvel properties, except for maybe X-Men or something like that, like a more grounded and darker, Marvel property. So I like that Daredevil is doing that, and Daredevil always dive into the more like greedy and really like just dark stuff that Marvel hasn't really touched. Like sex traffic, the drug empire. The just all the crime stuff that you usually hear from outside world. So I really like how this season is really doing that. The diving into like other stuff that we haven't done with Daredevil in terms of crimes related things or political things. Because Daredevil is also political as well in the comic books. So I like that we're doing that in this season. Yeah, I think we don't do theories or prediction in this show, but like we're gonna have a major death with certain character. I don't think BB is not gonna get killed, but she could be like I could see was it the Sopranos kid gonna get killed
Daniel.
towards Daniel. I feel like he's like he's not realizing the crazy involvement he has with Kingpin. Like he is a very like evil man. He is a very unhinged person. Like from the first 3 seasons, even last season, he's a very dangerous person. And I don't think Blake doesn't understand that. Like, what he's dealing with. And I think he will defend Beefy maybe from what she's doing, and he will get killed, by Kingpin. I can totally see that, and if not, I totally see Daniel betray her and give her up to Kingpin. That's another way I could see that. So I like the way they're doing with BB this season, because last season she was kind of just there. We just knew she was like the niece of Benedict. So I like she's doing more things this season in the story. So that was really good. And then uh the white tiger thing, that I kind of knew that was gonna happen. I knew the female white tiger as a kid because she was in the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, and obviously last season we had her uncle, and I was like, oh yeah, they could do something with that. Like she has potential to be part of the New Defenders lineup, and obviously I don't want to go too far, but they do confirm the abilities, which I was kind of surprised they did. Uh, to be honest, I thought well, I try to remember. Did we knew that he had powers last season?
I I remember. Did it get revealed in like this or next episode that she does have powers or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that because I know she's involved, but I didn't know. I was watching to see because I know like the regular white tiger is supposed, the comic book white tiger is supposed to have some type of powers. So, but I can tell you, last season, I don't think he just seemed like a regular old vigilante to me. And then, but with this necklace, and I'm like, well, what can he do? He can get shot. That's pretty much what happened.
What happened? Yeah, I remember a little bit. He's kind of like Vixen, but differently from the DC universe. Like the medallion gives him the kind of like the white, like the tiger kind of abilities of strength and all that.
Gotcha.
And and but that's far is it's not Omega level abilities, more of like spiritual kind of like abilities.
Enhanced of some sort. Yeah,
exactly. We do get confirmed that towards next episode when we get into that. Like I was like, I thought it was like Poindexter, but then the reveal, I was like, oh, and you pay attention, the medallion grows green when we get into it. But, it was just last season. I was like, oh, we never really saw Hector using his abilities last season because he was in trial and all that. So I don't mind her part of the story. She's a kid. It's not as annoying as other kids in shows or movies we binge watch and review. Like at least I like feel sorry for her, and I think she's a likable character. We just we need to spend more time with her. I'm curious how she's going to be part of the resistance, because she is part of the resistance with him, Karen, and Jessica very later on in the season. If you see the promo of pictures that they've been releasing this season, and then just wrapping up, I guess. Oh, yeah, and I like we're doing more with the who's that character? McDuffie, the lawyer that was with Matt last season. I like she's doing something. I don't mind her. I think at least she's doing something this season. But of course, we like the old OG characters from Netflix, so that's gonna be our opinions. Like we love the old characters and the new characters. It's like you can take it or leave it. Sometimes. Which is a shame. If you're not a comic book character like her, that's the thing. I'm a little more positive with her. Is like you can do certain things with her in the later Netflix, this shared universe of the grounded Disney Marvel stuff, because I like the more grounded and street level stuff. So you could do something with her later on. So that's all my opinion about this section. Really good, like the political stuff, and I like the intensity this is. I like how real it is, and it is scary. So that's all I have to say.
All right, sir. Thank you. Very good. All right, going over to you, Mr. Starcher. Your thoughts, sir, on this section.
Yeah, so the one thing that I've got a note here that I wanted to bring up was about Poindexter, like watching Vanessa. I think that there's a couple moments throughout a few of these episodes, and Vanessa's very aware of it, I think. But yeah, there is something that's going to be happening. My first thought is like, okay, he's targeting her for some reason, or maybe she just thinks that he is. I have no idea, but that stood out to me because I think it's at this point where he's just like kind of keeping an eye on her. The other thing that I had listed here was the whole White Tiger thing, which we've kind of already talked about. But yeah, I mean, my goodness, when the anti-vigilante task force shows up in your neighborhood and wrangles a couple people from your neighborhood, you're going to be upset. When they were taking her like into the van, I mean, they were it looked like a riot, and which kind of blew my mind how quick that happened.
Yeah.
Because they walk into the store, dude's stealing the stuff, and then she's like, don't telling him, put that stuff back. Prices are going to raise because you're stealing things. And then here comes the AVTF, and all of a sudden they take her out. This is within the span of like, I don't know, 5 minutes after she assaults an officer by grabbing him on the shoulder. I understand that, we can take things a little too far sometimes, but anyway, so they grab her and they take her out. And I mean, there are just people lining the streets, throwing bottles at this van, and it happened pretty quickly. Like they must be watching for the AVTF just to show up so they can be ready to throw bottles. Like they're handing out the bottles to everybody. All right, guys, here they come. But yeah, that's the only other note that I had for that section. You got Andres, you covered most of everything else that I had.
Yeah.
So crazy stuff, though. I mean, the community's acting quick, and obviously AVTF is not welcome wherever that part of the community was. So,
Jesse, you brought up. Sorry to interrupt. Vanessa.
Yeah.
Another theory I heard, like I could see Vanessa being killed this season. Like
I was expecting it to happen. Actually,
yeah, I know. I just have a feeling that she and that awful girlfriend that Matt dated, Heather, those two are the top like tier characters that are probably gonna get killed by this season. Just the way they are, like because last season we discovered that she's the one hired Bullseye to kill Foggy, right? And so he didn't like that he was being used again, just like season 3. And I totally see him doing this like psychological torment on Vanessa, and and we see that he's following her, all that, and so she knows that she's in deep shit.
Well, that's why she wants to move, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So yeah, so she's in the cups of maybe getting killed or not. We'll see. And that scene was so funny when the riot happened. And I just remember last season, this was first season was supposed to be 18 episodes, and they had to cut it. Like they split up the season. I have a feeling that some of the scenes we see in these two episodes were from the previous season. I think because it's not noticeable because this is how good they have restructured the show. It just like it was kind of weird all of a sudden that they're there. I just think that was maybe a part of the original plan from the initial showrunners, but it happens. It happens a lot with shows. Where, they had to change up the scene and whatnot.
Right.
But that's something we had to think about. Is probably Vanessa could be
he's a target.
The target
seems like it. Yeah. And what does Bullseye hit? No matter what. Okay. Sorry.
Good one. I got to. Someone has to do that. And I like that you did it.
Oh shit. That's all I got, Cyber.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Stark. Excellent job. All right. Going over to you, Mr. Jeff. Any thoughts, sir?
Oh, not really much there for you left over there for me to really throw in. I mean, besides just the fact that I also really did enjoy the whole, escalation of that scene where it got, into like the big fucking, brouhaha with the forces or whatever, and the actual community and everything getting all crazy, that was like a serious escalation from like a very brief crime, like for it to like blow up like that was kind of crazy. But it did. And I enjoyed it. I do want to mention that, yes, those two Bullseye deaths from earlier in the episode were fucking great. I do not just mention that real quick. When he took out those two guys with those two headshots with his knife or whatever, that was fucking nice. I'm telling you, this guy, Gandolfini's son or whatever, has got to fucking get his shit right or whatever, because he's going to get fucking killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's in a dangerous position, and he's fucking around with the wrong people. You know what I'm saying? And, I don't think he wants to really fuck around with these people, I mean, we've seen what Kingpin can do to somebody's fucking head.
Right. Right.
I mean, Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, that shit was fucking crazy. So, besides that, I mean, it was very crazy seeing what's her name's mom get like grabbed right off the streets, in prison, in like the fucking gulag or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Gulag.
Yeah,
the ant you're talking about, not the mom.
The ant, ant.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I thought it was the mom, but it was the ant. Apparently,
put her in the fucking gulag, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just fucking crazy how they've got rid of the laws now. They have the new the Wilson Fisk laws now in place. Just crazy, bro. In the city, man. No laws no more. I'm digging the whole Karen and Charlie Cox vibe together, them together so far in the show. Whenever that we do see them together, in scenes, I'm enjoying them together, in their relationship together again. I like them together in a relationship that works for me. As a Daredevil fan, I'm happy with Matt in that position. That's worked before in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy with all those scenes. I mean, besides that, really, all I can really say is just that I really enjoyed, all this section of the episode is really great. A lot of good stuff happens. Obviously, the bodega scene ends up being a pretty big scene, that stretches out for quite a long time. The dirty fucking doctor that that used to be Daredevil's ex-girlfriend is an asshole, bro, in the episode.
Right.
I still can't stand her, man. You know what I'm saying? As far as Daredevil's partner goes, she's all right. I'm glad to see her still active and like, busy doing stuff, too. But at least she's still like doing her job, still or whatever, But she looks like she's kind of got an uphill battle ahead of her, yeah, that's pretty much it, Cyber.
All right, thank you. All right, so moving on to the end of this episode. So at the point we were at, Vanessa grows paranoid over Dex. Murdoch and Paige are attacked in their hideout at Josie's bar by the ABTF. After Daredevil defeats the officers, Paige reveals she has taken one of them hostage, and that's how that episode ends. So what are you guys' thoughts on that final battle sequence there, and then Karen taking a hostage? What are you guys' thoughts? And I'll start right back with you, Jeff.
I really liked Karen taking the hostage. I thought that was great. Good for her. You know what I mean? Obviously she picked the perfect guy to do it with, because he wanted to get caught or whatever, right? So like it worked out perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know how she would have been able to knock out like a regular one of those agents. You know what I'm saying? That would have been tough for her. I mean, I know she's been boxing with Matt, but like, still, yeah, watching Daredevil take apart those agents was fucking great, man. He's great with those billy clubs, bro. He is on point with that bitches, man. Watching him fight with those things is awesome. I really enjoy it. Can't get enough of it. It's always good to watch. Those fight scenes are great. Watching him take those agents apart was awesome. I really enjoyed that. He beat the fuck out of all them bastards, and that was pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't beat him up too bad, but he beat him up and knocked them all out. Which is very efficient of him. You know what I'm saying? And Karen got out too, and everything, and they got that guy, to talk to, to get some information from this episode, So I thought it was all good on my end, sir. I liked it.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, going over to you, Mr. Starcher. Your thoughts on that ending, sir?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Jeff here. It was a great way to end this. I wondered, like, I did love the way that they ended things. I did wonder how Karen could take on one of those agents by herself, but yeah, maybe she's skilled enough now. She's learned a little bit. She's able to take this dude out, knock him out, whatever. But yeah, at the end of this thing, she's, after Matt has pretty much cleared the floor, he's trying to figure out where Karen's at, and she's like, I got something to show you. And they walk in, and there's this AVTF agent in a hood, and she's like, they want to hunt us. Let's start hunting them. And that was a way to do a cliffhanger, for sure. I mean, I didn't know what in the world they were going to do with this guy. I couldn't wait to see. And I think what we get, at the beginning of next episode was a little bit, I wasn't expecting. But regardless, yeah, a good way to end the episode with a nice fight scene. And kind of leave us hanging on as where we're going to go next. So there you go.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Going over to you, Mr. Pop Culture Guy. What's your thoughts, sir?
Well, a fantastic episode 2 from the end. I thought it was really good. I love that we ended in an action pack. I actually like how these 2 episodes we're discussing, they end in a high note, which is great, because I don't like when we have like a slow episode end and like, oh, we got nothing. I'm happy that we got action end episodes, which is good. I thought this one was really great. I did not expect Josie, the Josie bar being invaded by the forces. I was like, whoa, didn't expect that. And especially it was
only a matter of time, bro.
That is true. I'm happy they did it right away. I'm like, because yeah, you think that would be like towards the end of the season, right? It's like, oh god, the stakes are high, and then that show like the place gonna invade. I'm so happy they did it right away. It's like, yeah, we know they're there, so I'm happy they did that right away because that's such a cliche sometimes in like shows and movies. It's like, oh, we're almost into the story, and then, like we're gonna invade this like whatever house or mansion, whatever. So I'm happy they did that. Karen, capturing a hostage was kind of cool. I mean, she's been with Punisher and Daredevil, so like I kind of believe that she kind of took some like, some practice with them. They are very professional fighters, so like I'm kind of happy that not this like annoying way. Like I like that Karen can defend herself, now and like and is believable. And I love this character. She's great, and I like that she knows how to fight, which is good. Um, yeah, a couple things I like. I like the hostage that we got. Is actually that random officer we saw towards the end of last season when his partner killed that like random guy that was robbing the TV. That was like towards the end of the episode. That's who like this guy we have as the hostage. So it makes that's cool payoff. The meet up. I know you guys don't know this, but this is from season 2 of Daredevil. That was the date that Karen and Matt did in season 2 of episode 5, the Indian restaurant with the neon lights. That was
really?
where, yeah, that's where
okay.
that was the meetup. I forgot the name of it. Ponte, or that's the name of that restaurant. Before we penned down to that alley that Daredevil was waiting for Karen, that was where the meetup was. That was their date from season 2.
Okay.
That's just a small detail. I just want to bring that up, which that was cool. I was looking at the breakdown from this 2 episodes, and when they point that out, I was like, oh, really cool. But yeah, overall, I like this end. It was fantastic, action packed, which I really like. My question is like, well, they're hiding the Punisher hideout from last season, so like they have another place to hang out, which is good. But yeah, and the whole Vanessa thing, growing paranoid, that makes sense. Nothing else to say. We kind of discussed that already. But yeah, I'm very excited to talk about more about next episode because that one I was like, oh yeah, best episode for the season so far. So that's all I have to say, Cyber.
All right. So going around, starting with you, Mr. Andres, your rating on this episode. You're muted.
Fucking hell. Hate that. Anyway, April Fools, folks. April Fools. I thought I was talking. I'll give this a 9 out of 10. This was a solid episode. I thought it was good. Because next episode, I'm gonna spoil my rating. Next episode is a 10 out of 10, I have to say. So I just want to get a heads up. But yeah, and no, I know, I say spoils, Cyber, okay? I didn't say anything, okay? Why are you doing that?
See what we have to deal with, people? Do you see what we have to deal with?
What? No, Cyber, don't do that, please. I'm sorry. I will jump off of my TARDIS. My
Okay,
time
so a
machine
9.
for you.
Okay, a
Yeah,
9.
a
All
9.
right. Jeff, what would you
Right.
give this episode?
A 9.
And Mr. Starcher?
I will. Okay, I want to justify this with saying that this felt a little slower. I did like the ending. Don't get me wrong, but for some reason, this one felt a little slower than what I was expecting. So I'm going to give it a 7, and I won't spoil what I'm going to do with the next episode. What do you think of that?
I'm fine
Well,
with
we thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And I will also give this episode a 7 because I did think this one was a little slower as well until the very end when we had that action sequence. So I agree with Mr. Starcher. All right, so that is episode 2, folks. All right, on to episode 3. All right, so The Scales and the Sword. So this one was directed by Sullivan Slick 9 and written by Heather Belson. All right, so getting into this one. The hostage officer named Alan Saunders offers to help Murdoch and Page by giving them his security card for Red Hook. They leak a copy of a charter to the governor, Marge McCaffrey. that would allow her to revoke Fisk's access to Red Hook, which she agrees to do with the dubious nature of the Northern Star incident. McDuffie confronts Glenn over her decision to work for Fisk before preparing for DeQuanzon's trial, where she learns Fisk had him imprisoned after he refused to support the Red Hook project. We'll stop there. We get the swordsman in this episode, which is really fantastic. I love that. I love that guy that plays him. When he popped up in Hawkeye, I absolutely fell in love with this guy. I thought he was fantastic as the character. I loved his whole presence, his thought process. And so when they said that he was going to be in this season, I was excited as shit. And so when he popped up in this episode, I was like, nice. So I really enjoyed the swordsman. So what are you guys' thoughts on the beginning of this episode? From them getting the information from that officer from the end of the last episode to them trying to figure out a way to get into Red Hook. And then, of course, kind of the introduction to the swordsman and his trial that's about to go on. And this time I'll start with you, Jeff.
Yeah, the swordsman stuff is good. It's good to see them going back to the trial stuff again, the legal aspect, of the show once again, they haven't gone in that direction in a long time, so it's good to see them swinging back in that direction again to some extent. It's obvious that the swordsman's going to be fucked in his trial. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to be good for him, so that's pretty much a done deal, and then, as far as, the information that they get and like the access card they get from the guy, hey, it all makes sense to me, the guy wants to join the opposition or whatever. It makes sense to me, I believe them, so hopefully, it'll all work out, they got that access card, and obviously that's pretty important, right? They want to get into Red Hook, so, there you go. They got the card. So, I too really do enjoy the swordsman character. I like that actor. I think he's great. He was great in Hawkeye. And, that's it, Cyber.
All right. Thank you. All right. Going over to you, Mr. Starcher. What are your thoughts, sir, on that section?
So I'm looking at my notes here just to see what I had. We do have a little bit of Heather going through her PTSD with oh my goodness, what was the name of the villain that she had messed her? Muse, yeah. I mean, she's clearly traumatized. She'll be talking to someone when she was talking to the swordsman. I think at one point, like I think it was the swordsman, she would like see Muse in the background when she was like making her notes and stuff. So, and then I think I believe it's in this section where she goes home and she's got the mask like laying in her drawer. She takes it out and she's looking at it, and it's caused her such such emotional distress that she is lying just to do this stuff to supposedly incarcerate all these vigilantes that she believes is the problem, and probably led to her problem as well. So yeah, we get a good scene here where you can see she's still dealing with all this PTSD. So I'm pretty sure Karen has a thing for Frank Castle. I'm just going to say there's a point where Daredevil's like, are you, kind of leaning towards killing these people? Because that you're starting to sound like Frank. And she's definitely lost faith in the system. Like, she's got a lawyer there that she's in love with, they're a couple, but she feels like things could be done a little bit quicker if there was a trigger pulled or something like that to take some of these guys out. And she's like, well, maybe not the AVTF agents, but why not the head of the snake? I think is what she says. Why not take Kingpin out himself? And, Frank Castle's been talking about that since, day one he ran into the Kingpin, but it's kind of interesting to watch Karen kind of grapple with that. And of course, Matt tried to bring her back to like, no, all we need to do is give these people brain damage. I mean, concussions, and knock them out, and it'll be fine. Yeah, watching Fisk and the governor go at it, like, you're just wondering, like, oh, how far is he going to take this? How far? He can't really intimidate somebody. I love the moment where he goes, oh my goodness, I cannot remember the line now. She's like, he's like, I don't know where you're getting your information. And she's like, and you won't, or something along those lines. Like she kind of kept him in his place. I'm sure that lit a fire under his butt. But and then we have the moment where I think Daniel is getting he's getting talked to by, was it Buck? That came in, and Buck was talking to him about how, like, we need to find who's doing the fake Fisk. Okay. Yeah, we need to find out who's doing this fake Fisk stuff, and be aware somebody's going to have to be punished for it. So again, kind of supporting what you're thinking, like either Daniels is going to die or BB, and most likely it'll probably be Gandolfini, I think I agree with you. I think he's going to get killed in some spectacular fashion. And I could see him, like, it would be nice to see him kind of turn a new leaf at the end and be like wanting to protect BB in some way, and then, save her so she can get away while he obviously gets a fist through the face from Fisk, which will probably very well happen. The guy's pretty strong. So anyway, I think that's all my notes. That's all my notes for that section.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. All right, going over to you, Mr. Pop Culture Guy. Your thoughts, sir?
Yes. All right. Yeah, it was crazy to hear Karen saying, I think we need to kill these mother effers. They're going too far. I was like, what, Karen? You want to go the Punisher route? I'm not surprised by that. I mean, come on. If you want to tell me what's the best result, the guy who's been, the Punisher, he's been in the Walking Dead universe. Yeah, of course, I'll take him to get the results, done. I mean, this guy just bitch slapped Daredevil last season. I'm like, yeah, I'll take him. I mean, any day.
Yep. Yep.
When someone bitch slap you, I'm like, yeah, he has a point. Last season. But no, I totally get why Karen's like that. She was, I mean, like, when you lose a friend, you want justice, and the fact that she didn't like the fact that Vanessa is not getting the crime, like, punishment she deserved, what she did to Foggy is kind of annoying. And and plus Bullseye is out there, and like helping them. It's like, as you were saying, Jesse, weird and like conflicted, it's like, oh my god, like, it's crazy, and I mean, I kind of agree with her, because, like, they've been, like, they were under pressure. Like, they don't have the resources. They don't, like, they're, like, on the run from Fisk. So, like, they're desperate to get some result. And which I'm happy to say that they do towards the end of this episode, which is cool. Well, but in a very sad note when we get into it. But so I kind of get it. But, of course, Matt, who is this very faithful Catholic boy he is, tried to put her back from the dark side and, like, bring her to the light side, which is kind of weird. I'm like, wow, he's the Jedi Knight we deserve, but not right now, in the Star Wars universe. But yeah, I get why, I understand where Cameron's coming from. And yeah, the conversation that Buck and Blake Daniel is kind of, again, I say this before, he's very naive. Like, he's having that, like, very power hungry like attitude, and like he thinks he's invincible because he's like chatting up with Kingpin, like he's protecting him and all not, but he's not understanding, again, I say before last episode, the danger he's in right now, and his friend BB, and so yeah, I agree with you, Jesse. I'm hopeful he can have a redemption arc very quickly and
Right.
like saving BB, but I totally see him as the chopping block, and I can see Buck kill him, because Buck, he's the new Wesley, and he will do anything to protect Kingpin. So
Yeah.
I totally see him like cut him off and kill him, to protect Kingpin, and he will find out that it's BB too. Like I can totally see that later in the season maybe, but we'll see. And just wrapping up, I agree with you guys. I like the Swordsman. He, of course, he's a comic book character. I liked him in Hawkeye. One of my favorite DC Plus shows. Not because Alea is in that show too, but it's a great show. I like Hawkeye, and the actor is great. I mean, he, of course, he's from. Again, he was part of the Better Call Saul show. He played one of the Sonic Manas.
That's right.
Where he was really good in there. Like, he was very scary if you've seen the show. My friends told me he's fantastic there, just like the other cast members from Breaking Bad and all that. So it was cool that MCU got him here. And I agree with Jeff here about that. I like that they're still remembered that, this is Daredevil. The trials are very important because they're lawyers, and I like that we got a trial storyline here, which is good. And I like they're using Swordsman, which is nice. And the title, last thing, wrapping up, the scales and the sword is a reference to that statue of the lady with the sword and the whatever you call it, that like balance out. Like, really cool tile to do that. What's going on, and the sword, you can go in deep. That's the Swordsman's trial and all that. Yeah, I love this midsection, really good. And it more to come that's better. Really excited to talk about. So that's all I have to say, Cyber.
All right, thank you, sir. Excellent job, everyone. Billion gajillion points for everyone.
Yes.
All right.
I didn't want to leave here without points tonight. That's for
yeah.
sure.
You get Jesse Starcher gets points every single time he's here. He's the points master.
Yes, I want my Oscar. Right, I want my Oscar now. Okay?
Andres, you will never get an Oscar, sir. You might get a Razzie. You might get a Razzie, sir.
Oh man.
But not an Oscar.
Oh my God. Don't worry, I'll do the Halle Berry. I'm gonna accept my award for real in life. Thank you guys.
All right. So back to the episode. With the court and judges rigged against him, despite there being no evidence for his activities, Dicka is found guilty. With McDuffie's testimony, Daredevil breaks into Red Hook to destroy the weapons, but discovers Fisk's prison and works together with Declan Swan to free the prisoners. They are assisted by Paige and Angela. Now wielding the amulet of power, Fisk has the ABTF kill the night crew on the Northern Star to put further public pressure on the vigilantes, and that's the end. So this was a lot quicker of an episode, I feel, versus the last one. It did not, like, as we kind of mentioned earlier, the other one was kind of slow. This one was pretty fast. This one was, boom, boom, boom. It, was busy the whole time because we have the whole freaking section of all that action happening where the prison is and Daredevil kicking ass and, Duquanson kicking ass too. However you say his name. Duquesne, something like that.
You just roll with whatever, man. That's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm just rolling with that name there. Swordsman. We'll just call him the Swordsman.
Yeah, Swordsman. That's a good name.
We'll just call him the Swordsman. I mean, that whole section to me, that was awesome. I absolutely loved it. It was freaking awesome. It was so much fun. It just made the episode even better. When he got found guilty, my first words out of my mouth were, "Watch, they're gonna break in and get him out. Somebody's gonna break in and get him out." And then shortly afterwards, that's what happens. And I'm like, "Oh yes, this is awesome." But then when the girl has the amulet in this section here, cracked me up a little bit, especially after she scratches the one tires on the car, on the one ABTF's car, and they can't follow. I was like, oh God, here it's going already. She's supposed to be the next White Tiger. I'm like, oh God. But anyways, really, really fun. I thought I really enjoyed it. Lots of great action here. I mean, them exploding the Northern Star was freaking insane too. That was just so fucked up. And I was like, wow, that's totally, I feel, what Fisk would do. So I think that the ending to this episode was really fucking fantastic. So what are you guys' thoughts on this portion of the episode, kind of the last portion of it, last half? Swordsman being found guilty, being put into prison, the giant breakout scene from the prison, and then, of course, the Northern Star being destroyed. What are your guys' thoughts? And I'll start with you, Mr. Starcher.
Yeah, I'll leave some meat on the bone here for sure, for everybody else to talk about, because a lot, yeah, just like you said, it's really quick, really fast paced. A lot of stuff happened. I absolutely love Tony Dalton in this role. If you read some of the reviews out there, they really praise him just for the little bit that he does in this episode alone. Like watching him, he's in court. Really, he doesn't do a whole lot there aside from when, they start reading the verdict, which he completely expected. But as soon as he gets let out of prison and they hand him a weapon, oh man, it was fun to watch him fight. So I really did enjoy Tony Dalton as the swordsman, and he just, he kind of elevated this episode for me in my opinion. Vanessa and her dreams and her visions or whatever. Again, it's something is either going to happen. This is where I thought she was going to get shot. Like I expected this whole vision thing that she was having, which I maybe you guys can interpret it for me. Maybe there's something I was missing. All I remember is her getting up during the dream sequence and walking over. She says, "I know why you're hunting me," I think, and then lays down like a pen onto a piece of paper. And I don't remember anything else after that. I remember shortly after that, I think they go into where maybe it's the Red Hook, the governor finding out about the Red Hook or whatever. But anyway, so I just feel like it's more ammo for Dex to when he does do something, will possibly kill her. Then it's not going to be, it's not going to be too unexpected in my opinion. Although I don't know what's going to happen with Fisk when that happens. It will turn him. So they're doing this whole mayor thing. And for him to, if Vanessa gets killed, the only thing I could think of for him to do is he's going to just channel that rage into, finding all the vigilantes that are out there or something like that. But yeah, I mean, whoever gets the opportunity to explain to me the powers. I saw the scratch marks in the tire, but soon after that, I saw Ms. White Tiger putting a knife in a sheath. So I was like, oh, maybe she used the knife, but I mean, it looks like claw marks for sure. So maybe that's what it was.
So, okay. It was the knife. It's from her uncle. If you see the initial HG, that's what she did. I thought it. So this is what I mean. So this is the example of the tiger abilities.
Mm-hmm.
She has super speed. Not like the Flash abilities, but just she could sip very quickly, like a tiger. And which is kind of similar to Vixen from the DC universe, where she has all those amino powers. So that's what happened here. And so she sped up quickly to punch out the tiger.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And I think that the claw thing, I don't think that was just the claw. She kind of did that to show off the symbol of the white tiger, maybe leaving the mark. That's what happened with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So she didn't actually have claws.
No, we need to see in the comic book version. Yes. Well, when she has the suit.
When she has the suit on, right.
Yeah. Kind of like Catwoman. When those kind of versions where the claws come distract.
Right.
She does not have that, so that's just the knife she did to leave a mark to the enforcers. Who you're up against is the white tiger again.
All right. Well, that helps me out because I was still I was at the point where I was like, does the amulet do anything? And then I completely missed that part because I was like, well, I thought maybe she did it all. It gave her confidence to go out and do whatever she did. But that's cool.
I thought it was a horror movie at once. I was like, what the hell was that? That movie, when Karen saw that video, swoop. I was like, what the hell? Are we in the Insidious franchise or something? I was like, what the hell? I'm out of here.
Yeah.
But no, it was white. It was her. I was like, oh, it was just her. And again, we watched the episode again. The medallion, the eyes, you see it grow green, very subtle. If you don't see that shows that the powers were activated at that moment.
Okay. All right. And yeah, I mean, how we end this thing, it's a great ending, setting up for whatever's going to happen next episode. You know that, Fisk is going to twist that whole explosion and destruction of the Northern Star into something that, the vigilantes did this. We must all take action and bring them to justice. And that's what I'm expecting to happen next episode. But yeah, great ending. I did enjoy what we got here.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. All right, going over to you, Mr. Jeff. Your thoughts, sir, on the conclusion of episode 3.
Yeah, a great extended fight scene. Great extended battle scene throughout the episode. That was really exciting and had a lot of action. Had a jailbreak. Scene. Had White Tiger chick and Karen show up with the armored vehicle that they needed to extract all the prisoners, under gunfire. You know what I mean? That was really important, right? That they showed up with that vehicle, right? I don't know how they got that fucker, but they got it. And then the swordsman was driving it too later, right? So that he was clutch. Once again, swordsman was clutch. In the episode, I didn't notice all that White Tiger action that you were talking about, Andres. I did not see all that. I did not notice that. But I guess it sounds cool. I thought the ending was great. I thought it was great seeing the prison unloaded, and all those people freed. Obviously, that was a good thing, right? For Daredevil to pull that off, not surprised that Kingpin would decide to blow up the ship. That was a pretty nice explosion. I thought that was pretty well done. Pretty big, really, overall, just, great, action scene with, swordsmen getting in there in the action, and fighting with weapons and everything, and, Daredevil using his billy clubs, and fighting with his bully clubs, a whole bunch and shit like that, and taking out all those guards, right? And he fought a lot of guards, some really great actions so far this season, without question. And that's pretty much it, Cyber.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, going to you, Mr. Pop Culture Guy. What are your thoughts, sir, on the final part of this episode?
Yes, I agree with everyone. Fantastic episode, end of episode 3. The highlight for me in this season, season so far. We don't know what else they have. I mean, we haven't yet had Jessica Jones. I'm very excited for that. Pretty soon this season. But yeah, that one take, wonder sequence was fantastic scene. I mean, I did not expect to see Swordsman and Daredevil teaming up and seeing their marksman skills. It's so fantastic. Love that. When that moment when Swordsman pick up that stick, whatever you would call it, from the police officers, he smiles and oh my god, and the way he beats them up is crazy.
I believe they're called batons, sir.
Batons. Thank you. Yeah, I'm thinking Daredevil's one his oh my god,
Billy Club.
Billy Club, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to mix them up. But yeah, that whole sequence was awesome. And yeah, I was happy they at least saved those people, and I was happy they got them out. And we already talked about the White Tiger thing. Just seeing her using the abilities, because again, she's going to be the next generation of hero, so it makes sense that we want to set her up as the White Tiger. So that's nice. Hopefully we get her into a costume slowly. But yeah, so I'm very excited we do something with her character, which is good, because I like the uncle from last season, and I was very sad he died, and so I like we're getting another one here, which is cool. I just wish they made the powers more clarify, because I get it's TV, but just show me how she used her powers. It was very funny. I was like, what the hell was going on? And I was like, it took me a while to think. I was like, oh, they're showing her abilities, and all that, because White Tiger has superpowers in the comic books and all that. The just addressing you, Jesse, about the whole Heather thing. I hear some of like again theories, interesting ideas about this character. I think she's just gonna have a like a breakdown. So in the comic books, Heather does does go to a darker path, and just like the Daredevil girlfriends don't have a good track record of surviving. Yeah, everyone, except for Karen. This version of Karen has made it through, which is good.
Right.
Um, in the comic books, she unfortunately gets killed. Well, I think she suffers a lot of like mental issues and stuff like that. So that's what they're doing right now. Another big one. I'm curious what you guys think, but I don't think they're doing this. But I don't know. I think she's losing her mind, and she's going that similar path we saw briefly with the Muse, where she's having this what's the word, schizophrenia effect.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
And I can see her becoming the new version of the
she's gonna
Muse.
put the damn mask on, isn't
Yeah,
she?
yeah, and I don't know. I have a feeling they're gonna do it. I
got those vibes for sure this episode.
Yeah, and just the way she had the mask there made a lot of sense, and the hammer. So I think that could be a potential they could do that. I mean, she's very different from the comic books, so I can see them doing that, which is fine with me. Just don't kill her off like the first Muse. That's my main thing here. And I was not surprised the trial was rigged. I mean, they were definitely fixed role payroll, and it's like I don't want to go against him, so I'm going off. So and I think the finale was awesome, spectacular. This is why I love Daredevil, is like the drama and the action, and this is the episode that did it well. And I agree with Cyber. Like, this was a short episode, but they did it right. That's the thing. Jeff always brings this up, and I do agree with him. I don't like short episodes. If you do well, jam-pack the drama and the action, like in a reasonable, you'll make me happy. And this short episode made me very happy as a viewer, and like, it's one of the best episodes we had this season. So I'm very curious what the next episodes are to take this down, because so far I like this episode. It's really great.
All right. Thank you, sir. All right. So I believe that is everyone has talked about the finale of this. I think it was absolutely, as I mentioned earlier, fantastic too. Thought it was really great, really well done, very fun, very action-packed. Just like as Mr. Andres mentioned, how quick it was. They did it right. So I have to agree. So going around the table, let's get our ratings. We already know Andres because he said it before with a 10. What's yours, Jeff?
9.5, Cyber.
All right, Mr. Starcher.
Yeah, I'll give this a 9. I think this is worth a 9. I mean, if we get a 10 later this episode or later this season, it's possible. But where we're at right now, I'll give it a 9.
All right, and I will give it a 10 because I absolutely loved it. Like I always say, 10s is the number for me.
Yeah, look at this, Mr. 10 showing off.
10, Mr. 10 here, Mr. 10.
I should take his name.
Hey, I'm not always Mr. 10 because last episode I only gave a 7 to. So
that's true. That's true. That's true. Never mind.
So this episode was a 10 for me, though. I thought it was absolutely done freaking well. Very well done. It was a lot more exciting, I thought, a lot more entertaining, and it just was super enjoyable. All right. So that is it for the episode 3. That is both episodes, folks. So we have reviewed episode 2 and 3. I will now hand it over to our fearless leader to take us out.
Okay. Jesse Starcher, sir.
Yeah.
Imperial Comics Podcast.
Look at all that stuff right there. My goodness. How apt is it that the first thing you see there is Daredevil, the Man Without Fear? We did that episode back.
You guys did Midnight Massacre? That's awesome.
Yeah. We did the so that right there, that Daredevil episode is actually from 2015. I cleaned it up, made it sound a lot better, took out a bunch of stuff, and it's a syndicated source material where we go back and revisit some of the really old episodes. That's an 11-year-old episode. Yeah, boy, a lot of fun stuff in there. You can see unspoken issues. We talk TMNT body count, and let me tell you something. If you guys want to read a super ultra violent Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic, that's one that will that one's for the ages. I don't know if I've ever read anything as bloody and violent. I mean, I know the black and white comic is kind of known for that. That right there takes it to the extreme, though. And
Really?
oh, it's got Simon Bisley's doing the art, and it's over the top. Yeah, you can see I also did. Here's that Snap material stuff we've been talking about. We talk about Marvel Snap a lot. Had a few episodes there, drop every month, and yeah, as far as regular source material goes, we're getting ready into a three book spotlight on villains. Our first one's Cobra Commander, which is from this one's from the Energon universe. They did a Cobra Commander miniseries. It was a great rendition of what happens with Cobra Commander, kind of covering his origin story as far as the Energon universe goes. And it's a little bit different. And there's a bit of a surprise there too. So if you want to check that out, and I think our next one is going to be on Darth Maul. We covered there was a series back in, I want to say it was the early 2000s, maybe it was late 99, but anyway, it was Darth Maul. It was like a 4-issue series, came out from pretty sure this one was from Marvel, and it was okay. It was all right. It's Darth Maul. I was down for it. I read it. And so kind of watch for that. That's probably coming up in the next couple weeks. But other than that, guys, thank you very much for having me on here. And I had a great time.
I love that you guys did the Night Stalkers, man. I love those guys.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good stuff there.
Great 90s comics right there, man.
That's right.
Is that the one from Marvel?
That's the team that Blade was on.
Oh, okay, yeah, and that was in the Blade Trinity by any chance.
Yeah, they tried to kind of recreate the team and the Blade Trinity. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I knew the name was familiar.
Cyber.
You mute, sir. I'm sorry.
April Fools. No, Anywho, yeah, I'm here. Don't worry, I'm here. Okay, so guys, if you enjoyed me as a moderator here, if you enjoyed me on the panel at all, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark. You'll find me on YouTube. That's my main home base, but you can also find me on places like Patreon. You can find me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much any other social media platforms. As you see there, my most recent review is Send Help, which is the new Sam Raimi film that came out end of January. Just got that finally up. Got my Scary Movie 6 trailer reaction up. If you haven't checked that out, definitely give that a whirl. If you haven't seen my Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die movie review of a great film from Gore Verbinski, check that one out too. Great Sam Rockwell film. If you're a big Sam Rockwell fan, that's a movie to check out. Also, if you're a big 12 Monkeys fan, this movie is for you because it totally makes you think of 12 Monkeys. Very much similar, very similar. Also, if you haven't checked out my Dune Part 3 trailer reaction, check that one out too. For my shorts, my most recent short review should be for Hoppers, which I went and saw on last Thursday. Really fun film, really enjoyable. I was really shocked. It felt like a Pixar film. If you're a big fan of Toy Stories, Bugs Life, those classic Monsters Inc., stuff like that, Hoppers is that type of film. Check it out. Really fun. Also, if you haven't seen my mini review of Project Hail Mary, check that one out too as well. Or also my Together mini review. More stuff coming up soon for you guys. If you haven't seen any of those, give them a whirl. Keep on subscribing. Keep on watching us here on the MCU'S Bleeding Edge. Keep on checking out these great content creators we have on with us, and we appreciate you.
Awesome.
All right. Andre, the pop culture guy. Wrap us up, sir.
Yes. All right. This is Andreas Polko, the guy, presents. I am God. Actually, I want to tell you guys, I'm actually God Lord.
This has gone crazy for you tonight.
April Fools.
What is
Jesus
going on?
Christ, God.
Well, yes, I am God. I am the Litio God.
He's going a little too far, people. He's lost his mind.
Unhinged.
I did. I am losing my mind. I'm sorry. I just You know, it's Friday. No, it's Wednesday. Yeah, I am losing my mind. I don't even know what day today is. Anyway, I just recently posted the new Spider-Man brand new day trailer. You can check it out. Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. 10th anniversary previews right there. My part 2 of the multiverse. This is a comic book, the new comic book read, Multiverse Collision Detected. This is like a crossover between DC and Cartoon Network. So check that out. There's 6 parts, so I'm gonna drop them each week. Very fun read. I'm really enjoying it. I love issue 3. So I need to work on that this weekend and drop it off. I'm just wrapping up April, so it's been kind of like a slow upload. Shorts. I recently posted. Funny enough, I posted a April Fool's video where I'm announcing. I just discovered that James Bond got a new James Bond, folks. Henry Cavill is the new James Bond. Check it out. It's true. I got a good tipper from my, old pals from Hollywood. They told me that he's the new James Bond right there, okay? It's nothing special, okay? That's the new short there. Live stream. I need to talk about this one. Running Scare is going to be, I need to change the schedule. So Running Scare is going to be in April 12th because Room Upstairs just contacted me. He just, that date works for him, so I need to change that up. So April 12th will be the Running Scare live stream review, where we're going to talk about this classic underrated body cop film starring Billy Crystal, and I forgot the gentleman's name. Really good comedian actor as well. Really funny movie. This is one of my dad's favorite movies.
Gregory Hines.
Gregory Hines, thank you. Really great actor as well. Great underrated cop. It's really funny. I think you guys will like it. So that's going to be my first April live stream review. And then hopefully this pans out, The Green Room. Great underrated 2016 film. Starring the late, great Anton Elchin. Great thriller. Patrick Stewart's in it. I think it's really good. So yeah, I'm going to put together a lot of hopefully YouTube conters to join us on these 2 live stream views. And that's all I have to say. Happy April 1st, folks, and April Fools. I'm not God. I'm not the silly Latino man
All right.
from outer
And
space.
we'll be back. We'll be back on Friday for Monarch, folks. Legacy of Monsters for episode 6, I believe. And Andres, you are moderating, sir.
Oh, really? Okay, yes.
Yes.
I'm going to moderate episode 8. Good.
6.
Never mind. I'm sorry. April Fools, folks. That's
Anyways, we'll see you later, folks. We appreciate you out there. Take care. Good night. God bless you.